What up? J Herbs here. I normally don't do vlogs like this, and I know my channel's in the middle of like these Jamaica videos, but something really big happened in the cryptocurrency community this morning, and I had to just say something about it because I think it's really exciting and I just wanted to share my voice. A lot of people know me as this weed traveler guy, and I just want to elaborate that yeah, I am this weed traveler guy, but really what I do is for building global community. I believe in people coming together, I believe in love and harmony, and I believe in getting rid of the status quo that we live in, which includes big corporations and corrupt politicians ruling our lives, taking away our freedoms just so they can continue to be in power. And so what happened in the Ethereum community just this morning really made me like kind of excited and invigorated. Now, it wasn't necessarily a good thing. It was a $200 million hack. And okay, so I'm a pretty basic guy. I consider myself more of a nerd than the average person, but by no means do I compare even in the slightest to the whole cryptocurrency community. So crypto people, bear with me. I'm going to try to explain all this in like very basic terms for the average person, and average people, bear with me because I'm still working on explaining all this. So basically Ethereum is a custom-built blockchain which comes from the Bitcoin technology that basically sets up little nodes everywhere. So instead of a traditional server where you have all the data, and then if you want to access that data you have to like tap into the server like watching a YouTube video. This video is stored on the YouTube server. But imagine, if you will, that this video was on a blockchain. Basically, everyone in the blockchain would have different little parts of the video or different copies of the video. And so if you wanted to watch it, it would stream through all the people, kind of like torrents, right? P2P sharing, peer-to-peer, where everything goes from here to here. So this pretty much guarantees no downtime, right? If a server goes down, like when Reddit's down, everyone's like, ugh. But if Reddit existed as a blockchain, technically it would never go down. Now, this is a very new technology. It's still being figured out, and security flaws are an issue. So with Ethereum as the platform, you can create your own currency on top of it with what's called a smart contract. With that currency, you can create a Kickstarter, you can create an organization, whatever you want really that runs off of this smart contract. And so the smart contract is basically coding that just says what's allowed, what's not allowed, who can do this, who can do that, blah, 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 blah. I don't know much more than that. So what's kind of neat with these smart contracts is they're completely decentralized. There's no like middleman running the show that can fuck things up with their own corruption. It just goes as programmed. So this is all well and good in theory, but then in application we learned things, which happened last night. So lots of little Ethereum startups have begun, including one that became to be known as the DAO. And the DAO, which stands for Democratic Autonomous Organization, is an online company, an online corporation. It's not part of any country, it's not part of any physical boundaries. The only thing it's governed by is its own rules. So the DAO was created in May as a crowdfunding campaign. It lasted, I believe, 4 weeks, and it raised approximately $160 million in 4 weeks using the Ethereum blockchain. And then what happens was if you put money into it, you would become a shareholder, a stakeholder in the company. So there's no board of directors, there's just a stakeholder. This thing called the DAO, the Democratic Autonomous Organization, was hacked. But not really hacked. See, nothing can happen in a smart contract unless it follows the rules of the smart contract. So someone found a loophole to hack it. And this hack basically meant that all this money with all this Ethereum, which is, oh no, sorry, all these DAO tokens would basically transfer to this one account. And then after 27 days, this account could release it into Ethereum and then into cash. But for some reason it has to go 27 days because I think that's the rule of the parent contract, the DAO. So the hacker wasn't stupid. I think the hacker must have known that. If they overlook something like that, that's just like a fucking Darwin Award or something. I'm assuming he or she can be traced, could be wrong there. Whatever, it's kind of besides the point. What's interesting though is that technically the hacker didn't break any rules, just exploited a loophole. So there's this whole like, all right, well maybe we should kind of thank the hacker because those DAO tokens are now worthless because no one will pay for them anymore. They can't be exchanged back into Ethereum because it failed. The whole experiment kind of just failed and no one will pay for it anymore. But what's super beautiful right now is that all the communities coming together. There were so many people that invested in making the DAO thing happen. And now there's $200 million worth of tokens now that everyone's like, okay, what do we do? There's this, what's going on is this thing called forking. Basically forking is like you have a fork in the road, you go one way or the other way. Once again, don't quote me, I'm not a smart person when it comes to this stuff. So if it went through a hard fork in the media and the PR, if the mainstream media were to catch it, it would basically mean that that $150 million, $200 million hack was thwarted, which would be like really cool in one sense, right? Everyone got their money back, it was a hack, but it's cool. But in the other sense, it goes against the morals, right? Meanwhile, a soft fork, the hacker would get to keep some, and I don't know what happened with the rest. But the reason I bring it up isn't necessarily because of the money or the decisions that need to be made, because of the aspect of like global community. I believe in global community. That's why I travel. That's why I believe in weed. It connects people. That's why I believe in helping others and volunteering. And that's what I do. What I do is just to connect people. And that's why I love the blockchain-based everything, because it represents this pure transparency and real people doing real things for like not shady reasons. It's just all there. It's right there in the code, which is why Ethereum is really cool. So right now we have all these people coming together and no one knows what to do, but everyone's allowed to voice their opinion, and like it all comes down to what people vote for. Not one person can technically just make a decision. If one person makes the decision and everyone believes that person has the best idea, then people can follow suit or not. No one's forced to, because it's up to you to install the software. So basically the hard fork would get everyone's money back and we'd learn a lesson. But it would compromise the integrity of the whole point of having a decentralized currency anyway, because the whole point of doing this was to prove that, you know, coding a computer can run this better than humans. The point of this vlog is to bring up how neat it is that so many people are coming together. Granted, it was a lot of money and a lot of people have selfish intentions, or, you know, not selfish, but a lot of people have intentions to make more money or to not lose their money, which is completely valid. But a lot of us also just believe that this is a really cool idea. Having a fucking company that's just run by people that vote on what happens with all that money. So that $200 million or so could have gone towards really epic projects, because basically people vote on a project, and then if it passes, then all that money gets funneled to a contractor, and then the contractor in the real world creates the service or the product that in turn, in theory, makes a profit for the company. So it's like any other company. You take your investment, you make a product, you make money. So that money would then go towards the shareholders, the people that had bought the coins, that have coins, that invested in it to begin with. So it's a really cool idea, especially because if some people don't believe in it, then they don't vote on it. And if the majority doesn't agree in it, then it just won't happen. And some people are in it for money. Some people have really strong morals. Most of the people just want to help the planet and help people and make really cool products to help move humanity forward. So it's this really interesting community. It's a really diverse community. It's a really global community. And everyone's coming together right now to kind of figure out what to do next. Everyone has their own perspective. And I just wanted to share that regardless of what happens, like whatever, if I lose my small amount of money in it, I'm kind of, it's whatever to me personally. But I think it's a great opportunity to learn and move forward, because we can't move forward without making mistakes. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. If we want to get ourselves out of this corporatocracy, totalitarian fucking oligarchy that the world is turning into, it might take a few $1 million of fuck ups to get there. But this might be the only way to do it, because it kind of puts an end to hierarchy. If we have the whole world run by blockchain, with the metaphor of just no server, no federal government, just like little governments everywhere, stuff like that, where if you want to be a part of it, you can. You follow the contract, you install the software. You don't have to. You can do that one instead. Like, this is more or less, I believe, the future of the world when it comes to systems and governments and organizations, or when it comes to farms and growing food, or just communities in general, whether it's digital or real life. We have to come together in little groups that agree with what they agree on, and then have our own greater infrastructure so we can interact with one another without the bullshit involved of power. And power has always been an issue since the beginning of human beings, I think, as we know. So as I see things from an energetic standpoint, this is just one minor chip in the road, and it's okay. Like, it's gonna move forward, and I support all of you doing a really good job figuring it out. I don't think I deserve to kind of give my 2 cents beyond this, because I don't understand it enough. And for those of you that don't understand any of this, I highly recommend looking into the DAO Hub, DAOhub.org, looking into Ethereum, Ethereum.org. There will be links in the description. Watching videos on it. Really educate yourself, because this is the technology that will shape the future. It's very important. It's community building. It's genius. It's brilliant. the Ethereum Foundation is not for profit. Like, how fucking cool is that? Like, fuck yeah. People are forgetting that everyone's human, everyone makes mistakes, and like, this is the beginning of the future. Of course it's not going to go right the first time. Rome wasn't built in a day either, as the old adage goes, right? Nothing is going to be fucking perfect the first time. So we lose a little, what, money? You lose a little convenience, whatever it may be, so be it. But honestly, fuck all the shit going on right now. Fuck, man, it's worth a couple fucking $100 million to have to learn this lesson to make something better. So I just want to encourage everyone out there that is part of the Ethereum community, fucking whatever it takes, like, let's just keep moving forward. Like, this is what's really important to move the world into a better place if we want to survive as a species. You know, I hope I explained everything right in this vlog. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Please feel free to correct in the comments. But yeah, these are big days. It's really cool. Peace out.